was performing at a show in Harlem, and Reverend Al Sharpton was there. And during my performance, and all this is online. During my performance, the music went out, and I just started singing a cappella, and people started clapping or whatever. And Reverend Al Sharpton, he came on the stage, and he was like, "Listen, I heard Kathy's been telling me you've been performing at amateur night. This is what I want to say. You ain't no amateur no more."
This is Dream Big and Be Petty, the podcast hosted by Brian Petty.
Jumped up off the roof, I took a chance. Nice floss, quick, smoother than the butter in the pan. Half frostbit. Now I'm at the swerve, all you niggas swerve. Now I'm at the swerve, nigga, what's the wire? You ain't expect young nigga to be checked. That's the one to talk to. Crazy life, I'm making time, cause I got you. Yeah, you know I got you. Yeah. Hit me up, hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. Give me love, shawty, give me love. Shawty, give me love. Shawty, give me love. Hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. Give me love, hit me up, give me love. Shawty, give me love. Shawty, give me love. Yeah. Talk to me. Ooh, talk to me. Ooh, talk to me. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
Give him a round of applause, everybody. Give him a round of applause. All right, what up, though?
Yo, man, chilling like a villain, trying to make it
all day.
Feeling, bro.
Lit, man.
I already know.
All right, Rob, I appreciate you being here and taking the time out your busy schedule to go ahead and drop some gems. So the platform that we got here, Brewing, we're cooking up something nice with the Dream Big and Be Petty. The platform is like to really tell the evolution of an artist. Not just an artist, but anybody who's got like a dynamic story, has been through like some real shit and has persevered, come through. Like the concept is to come from the darkness and lead yourself into the light. So before we get into that, I want to make sure y'all know the concept of Be Petty is the BE is like believe. I want you to believe in yourself, and the petty is the practice every day to take what's yours. Practice every single day to take yours. I put the what's in there so y'all know. Me and Rob was talking about that earlier, so we figured it out. But let's get into Rob real quick. Rob, I just want to know a little bit, like starting off, like a little bit about your backstory. Like tell us a little bit about you.
Born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, 7 Mile, 6 Mile, Joy Road, Schoolcraft, Dexter, everywhere, Maccabee.
Now, for the people who don't know about those iconic spots that you just named, give us a little bit of background into like where you really come from. What does that mean?
So, I was born in the city. You know what I mean? I was not born in the suburbs. Some people say they're from Detroit, but they really be from Ann Arbor.
All day.
Yeah, no, I'm from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Born and raised. And I went to high school, went to a DSA, Detroit School of Arts, Performing Arts High School, where I studied music and vocal music and all different types of singing. And I started performing when I started singing in church in 7th grade. That's the earliest I remember singing in church. And then I remember I booked my first professional show at the Detroit Opera House. When I was in 7th grade. Yeah, it was
7th grade. What do you mean book? Grade. Like you got paid?
Yeah, I got paid. It was a play with Genuine and Lisa Ray and Robin Gibbons. It was a big play in the city, and I auditioned for it.
How'd you get cleared for the child labor laws? Like what happened there? I don't understand.
I don't think none of that was. Because I ended up touring with them and everything. I don't think none of that was. It was a workshop.
Shout out to Detroit for.
Shout out to Angela Bell Dunlap. She's a playwright in Detroit, but she's from Detroit, but she's a national playwright. But she gave me my first opportunity, allowing me to audition for that play, and I booked that. And then from there on, that was just such a whirlwind because it was an opera house, and that's one of the biggest venues in the city. And that was like my first show, and Genuine was one of my idols growing up, and he was in the show. So that was pretty much my introduction to performing professionally. And then I ended up, that's when I went to the Performing Arts High School, and then did some more theater. And I was just literally, growing up in Detroit, I sang and danced and performed everywhere. So literally I was a part of every dance crew, every, program, every performing arts program, anything, you could do in the city. So like, as a youth, I had already performed at the Fox Theater, at the Opera House, at the Fillmore. I had already, did so many things because when I was young, I was just going around singing everywhere. I was a little boy in the neighborhood who could sing and always writing songs.
Who was the first person to let you know that you had the talent?
I think probably my mom. It was probably my mom. She says I used to sing. I'm not gonna say the song because it's very inappropriate. But she said
we gotta know the song. You can't say that and not give the people.
You know the song "Let Me Bang."
Let me hear it. It's a Detroit song, right?
Yeah, "Let Me Bang."
Go on, let's hear a little bit.
Bang, bang. If that is for them players, haters lying on the dick.
Hey.
Block and bounce. Fuck for a bitch. If the bitch wanna fuck.
Hey. Okay, all right, that's enough. All right.
My mom said that was the first song I learned, and then
wow.
I guess that was crazy that she put me in the church choir. So my mom was the first person to tell me. But what's funny? Growing up in the hood, I was like, the whole hood used to tell me I could sing. Like, that's what I used to do to make money. I would just go around the neighborhood and tell people, hey, I'll sing for you if you give me $1.
Wow.
Like, so I used to go around door to door? For all of just in the neighborhood. Niggas be just chilling in the hood. So I would just go around, 9, 10 years old, whatever. Going around singing for everybody in the neighborhood. And then I started writing songs with my cousin D. We had a little setup in the basement, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Cousin D.
Cousin D, DeAndre Thomas. We call him D, his name DeAndre.
Okay.
And he was the first person I really started writing, songs with. And then I had an uncle who, once I got to middle school and a little bit of high school, he used to pick me up after school and take me to the trap studio. So it was like the studio in the middle of the trap, whatever. And he would give me a CD with beats on it on Monday. He would pick me up Wednesday, Thursday. And we would go to the studio. And I had to be in like 7th, 8th grade then, you know what I'm saying? Just writing songs and going to the studio and stuff. So it was a lot. It was a lot.
No, it sounds like a whirlwind, really. It sounds like you didn't have time to like pause, breathe, think about it. Kind of swept you up a little bit, right?
Pretty much.
From doing like the neighborhood to like church to like, just the opera house. And, you kind of just was doing it.
Yeah.
So when did you fall in love with it automatically, or did it take time, or did you just enjoy the way people made you feel?
Yeah, I've been in love with music for as long as I can remember. Truly,
okay.
I've been in love with music for as long as I can remember. I remember discovering, I think Aaliyah was the first artist that I really loved. And I used to buy her CDs and I used to open them and read all the credits of who was writing the songs. And that's how I got interested in writing and producing and stuff. So for as long as I can remember, music was my passion, like for real, like more than any of the other kids in my neighborhood. Like I used to just keep a notebook full of songs that I would write, every audition, everything. I would always be there. I used to catch the bus on my own to get to auditions, catch the bus at night, literally whatever it is that I had to do. Like I was a very, very determined
auditions
child.
In Detroit. What type of audition opportunities did you find yourself going to in Detroit?
Well, like for the theater company that I joined, that audition, and Angela Dunlap, she actually did a lot of shows, and I had to re-audition every time. So, that was a bulk of it. And she would have tours. She put me on one of her tours, actually a couple of her tours. But when I was in high school, she put me on one of her tours. So it was like a re-auditioning for her different productions.
No, that's genuinely what you call giving back to your community. So shout out to Angela Dunlap.
No, big time.
She sounds like a saint, for real.
Oh, no,
we're both from Detroit. Yeah. And I don't know about her, and I feel shameful that I don't.
Have you ever heard of the play Church Girl?
Yeah, I have.
She's a producer of that play. I was in that play. Yeah, she wrote that play. Angela Dunlap, anybody who knows her, especially in the Detroit community, she really is a nurturer of talent. She's given so many amazing Detroit artists their start, just like with me, and their start in just major opportunities. I wouldn't know anything that I know. I wouldn't know about stage presence and performance or anything if it was not for Angela Bell Dunlap.
Ooh.
I would take that to my grave. That's my girl.
Come on, man. Somebody give
Oh,
her roses right
Oh, yeah.
now. There
She
you
give
go.
her
There you
roses.
go.
You can
All
catch her
right.
on BET. They got her plays. They'll be coming on TV.
So we're trying to get into the life of Mr. Moss over here, right? And I know that a lot of our viewers, because we're starting out, don't know Rob, right? So the idea is to like really, it's not even just about the essence of like his artistry. It's about this man and his story, where he comes from, and what he had to do to get to where he is today, and then even where his vision is for the future. So, Rob, is there like, because where you are today, I know. Let's talk about what you have out now, what you want people to really dial in on and check out, but also give them a little bit of the petals that have hit the floor over time and like created and molded the person that you are today.
Absolutely. Well, so now I'm just a full music artist, singer, songwriter, and everything else that entails, which is everything. And it's just a matter of following my passion and seeing where it takes me, and approaching everything with a business mind. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. I just dropped the Talk to Me single. It's on the back of my jacket, but you can't see it. But the Talk to Me single just came out, doing really well. I had my R&D EP that came out last year that picked up some momentum. So doing okay now as I'm learning more, and that's what I want a lot of artists to know, is that this whole thing with artistry and music, it's really a process. It's a process. You got to trust the process. You got to keep your eyes on your process and not be comparing yourself to the next person. So that's where I'm at now. I'm on my journey. I'm in the middle of my journey, and I'm progressing every day and learning every day and working hard and sacrificing and, doing the shit that it takes to actually get there, because a dream is not going to be handed to you. No matter who your favorite artist or favorite success story is, I guarantee you it took them a process to get to where they are. So I feel like, I'm in that process and I'm learning to enjoy it. I'm learning to be happy.
So you don't believe in like overnight success? You don't think that's like a...
No, I think overnight success is it's something that's made to look, what is the word for that? It's an illusion. Like every overnight person that appears to be an overnight success, I guarantee you put in 7 to 10 years of work before that. You know what I mean? I guarantee you they did. And in some way, and even if you do, I always say, even if you do become an overnight success, once you're a success, that workload is heavy. So if you haven't had that time to struggle and that time to build up that character and build up that success, if you do become an overnight success, once that success workload comes along, you're not gonna know how to handle it. You know what I mean? You develop
a tough skin.
Yeah,
100%.
And it takes work. Everything takes a lot of work. You know what I mean? So I don't believe in overnight success. I believe in the illusion over overnight success, where you might see somebody be like, "Oh, damn, they blew up this year."
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, if you go and read about that person's history or whatever it is that they went through a process to get to where they are.
So what would you say was your first roadblock in your journey, like in music? Was there ever a time when somebody like kind of like, for lack of a better word, like just kind of shit on your dreams?
Oh, everybody.
Really?
To this day.
You got a specific story that you could tell us?
Oh man, I wouldn't even know where to start. I literally wouldn't even know where to start. I've been rejected on national TV.
Oh man.
Been let down so many dead ends and so many situations, what I mean, like a lot, more than one, almost every day, type thing. I will say the biggest roadblock for me though, personally, was I had to say, this might sound cliche, but I would say, for a while it was myself. For a while.
That definitely sounds cliche. I ain't gonna hold you back. Go ahead.
For a while, no, but it's the truth though. It's the truth. Like for a while, it was me not necessarily having the confidence or having the belief in myself. You know what I'm saying? To know that, to initiate certain things, or just having the utmost confidence. Like that is the biggest thing, that if I can go back and maybe tell my younger self something, it would be to approach everything with the utmost confidence, even not arrogance, not air, but confidence. You know what I mean? Even if, you know what I'm saying, you are nervous. So, but as far as dealing with haters and doubters and people that don't support you and all of that, like, that's something that, you know, I deal with on a daily basis, you know what I'm saying? And because I love music and I love what I do, I got to push myself to keep going. But like, that's the everyday process. And of course, the homelessness, the brokenness.
We don't even know about that. Hold on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know. You know, there's Jay-Z has a story that he tells, right? And it's about how he kind of like was in love with rapping and, you know, was starting to like really making it a commitment. And his uncle was like, you know, it's not for you. You're not ever going to be that. And to this day, he'll be like, I love my uncle, you know, but that wasn't the wave. So I like what you're saying is 100% something that everybody goes through.
Yeah. I didn't have that growing up though. Growing up in Detroit, I didn't have that type of thing. Like all my uncles, my cousins, my mother, brother, everybody was like, nigga, you gonna make it. That's all I heard my whole life. From the time I was 7 years old singing in church all the way up until I graduated and moved and left Detroit, is that everybody always just thought like, dude, you gonna be somebody, you gonna do something, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I left Detroit and I got into these other places, you know, going to LA, going to New York, that's when, you know, I started to, you know, experience other shit. You know what I mean?
Your confidence, what happens to your confidence when you start experiencing other shit?
You know, I think coming to LA, you know what I'm saying, feeling like a small fish in a big pond, in a big ocean, you know what I mean?
A lot of talent. LA and New York. You was in New York too?
LA and New York, you know what I mean? I think that was probably it, but it's important to realize that you have to know that nobody else in the world can offer what you can offer. So even though there is a lot of talent, there isn't one other person in the world that has my voice, that can write the words that I'm going to write, that can do, you know, so I think you need to, once you get past that hurdle and you understand like, oh, you guys, I have something to offer as an artist, as a person. I don't have to compare myself. I don't have to compare my journey. You know, I think that's a big thing. But, you know, I moved out here with $38 in my pocket and no place to live. And I didn't even have a state ID to get on the plane, actually. But it was a spiritual thing. You know, God had told me it was time for me to move here. And he told me clear as day, you know, it's time for you to move to LA and just, you have to give up everything that you're comfortable with and you just have to go. And I did not want to accept it. I was like, Lord, I don't know about this. Now I ain't got no money. I'm on my way back to Detroit. And, you know, I ended up somehow getting a plane flight at like 5 a.m. and got to the plane and didn't have my IDs. He was able to get on the plane. Didn't even have a place to live until I got to the airport and my friend called me and was like, hey bro, I got a floor you can sleep on, you know, for, you know, however long you need to, like it, you know. So I came out here and, you know, really went through a struggle.
I'm just, look, y'all, hard for words, and I'm gonna tell you why. That is sincerely the very definition of stepping out on faith and taking your first step. It's not knowing where you're going to land. It's just taking a step, and it's leaping, and it's being willing to fall. And I think what you're going to find in your process is like, the fact that we're even here and I'm interviewing Rob is the sense of like, I came across this young man on a music video, and the song is fire, and he was doing his thing, and it's incredible to hear that this man came out here with $38 and didn't know where he was going to live, and now here he is today, still making music, still doing his thing. So it takes me back to just trying to understand his entire process, his journey. What was it that made you this strong? Like, if you could think about what gave you the courage in that moment to take that leap, if you had to think about what led up to that moment prior to, was there an instance that you can think of that made you who you are today, even before you even knew that person, like a younger Rob?
Yeah, you know, I would say God, man. God, I'm very, very, very strong. I was brought up heavily in the church, but I think spirituality and a relationship with God goes outside of the church. It's not just about going to church, but luckily, I was exposed to just, having a very close personal relationship with God from a very young age all the way, up into my adult life. So I felt like that's that extra strength, that's that extra faith, because like I did not want to come here.
Wow.
Like, let me be clear, I didn't want to come. I was on my way back to Detroit. I was not trying to come here. It was literally God spoke to me and said no. And I remember I walked around the whole day like, God, I know that's not what you're saying, because I don't have no money to get to LA. All I got is $38. So I know you're not telling me to do that, but I heard that spirit pushing me. And I was just like, all right, I got to make it happen. I got to do it. You know what I mean? And, another thing, growing up in Detroit, I think it toughens your skin. You know what I mean? I had already been robbed, shot at, gunpoint, everything before I graduated high school. Just living in the hood, I had already experienced so much. So it was like fear wasn't even a thing, because
people, you can still visit Detroit. I don't want y'all to think when you step into D, you can get robbed and shot. No, but these things happen to me too. So
it's the truth.
I didn't live in
a nice part of the town. Like I really didn't.
I think they're getting better though. I think they're getting a lot better though. I think, right? They're building. I saw Aquaman was investing, so I think they're building. I don't know.
For me, it made me stronger. You know what I'm saying? For me, it made me be able to move to New York when I was 19 and not ever be scared of nothing. You know what I mean? It built that tough skin in me. You know what I mean? Like truly, I think if I would have had it any other way, I don't think I would be, you know what I'm saying, as courageous as I am.
Look, I agree.
This is my personal memorabilia.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. There's you touched on the homelessness part. What was your adolescence like? What was that like for you?
My adolescence, like growing up?
Yeah, growing up. Outside of the music, what was it like? Was it easy? Was it like Leave It to Beaver? Did you have it like, was it just like smooth sailing? What happened?
Not quite. Well, I was taken into foster care when I was 8 years old. Wow. And I was in foster care till I was 11 or 12. And I'm still very close with my foster family to this day.
That's beautiful. What led to the foster care?
My household growing up, it was just hood. You know what I'm saying? My dad was, he was a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? My stepdad, I used to watch him cook crack. You know what I'm saying? My mom was about that life. My family were gangsters, thugs,
okay,
chamber brothers. You know what I mean? Like,
lit.
No, literally.
Not lit, but I understand.
So, so I ended up being taken into foster care because of that. Because the system, the lifestyle that
the system found out about the fam.
Yeah, the lifestyle that they were living. They wasn't conducive for kids.
Did you witness anything that you think stayed with you?
I mean, not nothing that was too traumatizing. Like, I witnessed a lot of shit that probably should have traumatized me. But I think growing up, all of that drama, it's almost weird that it becomes kind of normal. You know what I mean? It becomes
your norm. You're comfortable. It becomes
like this is normal. Yeah, so it didn't really traumatize me. But when I did get taken into foster care, I got exposed to a new life, because my foster family were very, very much like upper class African Americans who were business owners, entrepreneurs, lawyers, doctors. You know what I mean? So when I got taken away from home and into foster care, it kind of exposed me to a different type of thing, because my family was very, very much hood. And my dad, he worked in high-end restaurants and stuff, too. So he had a little bit of that as well. But when I got taken into foster care, it kind of showed me, that different. Now, I will say that my mom is the strongest woman in the world, and she ended up getting us back. It's like a 2% chance that parents actually get their kids.
moms. Give it up for moms.
Yeah, no,
y'all.
my mom
Give it up
worked
for
her
moms.
ass off. My mom worked her ass off, and she got custody of me and my little sister back. You know what I mean? And you know, she got her life a lot more together. You know what I'm saying? After that, and she realized she couldn't do some of the stuff. So that's pretty much. But
Man, that's emotional, bro.
yeah, that's what my
beautiful.
adolescence was. It was a lot of drama, a lot of fighting, I saw a lot of stuff growing up.
So does your foster family and so you got like, do you see as I have a big family now and they're both, do they rock with each other, or is it just like separate? You keep them separate and you just kind of like, all right, this is that, but it's love.
Well, they're not one family per se, because it's still the same dynamic.
All right.
My family's still very hood. My foster family's still, you know, but they are. I do consider them one family. I do consider it all my family. And like when I have shows or when I have like, you know, something going on, they're both there.
Absolutely.
Both families are there.
Absolutely.
They know each other. You know what I mean? But they're not a family. You know what I mean? But they're both. Oh yeah, like when I went to prom, my foster family was there, and my real family was there. So
major. That's big ups. Big ups to like just the community.
Big ups to the
coming together. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Cheatums.
So you sounds like your journey as an adolescent kind of just was like rocky, but you found your footing with the new family, and then you still got an opportunity to get back to your original biological family.
I always loved. I love my foster family too. I consider them my family now.
Right.
But I always loved because our parents and stuff are living that life, but as the kids, we didn't know. My stepdad was, you know, a dope man, so I had all the newest bikes. I had money in my pocket. I had the freshest outfit.
Right.
I had everything. Like I was, a little spoiled kid because my stepdad was the dope man and my mom was the, you know what I mean? So I did not necessarily, like my actual adolescence before taking the foster care was good. I loved it. Like I hate to say it, but I loved living in the hood and growing up in my hood. I had a lot of happy times there, a lot of love. Yes, there were fights. Yes, there was the drama. Yes, it was all of that. But dude, we had a lot of love. Like we had love. We had fun. We would just chill and play spades all day.
Something a lot of people don't know about the hood. It's like there's a lot of love in the hood. It's not all just like horror stories 24/7, 365, but it's people coming together trying to figure out how to get through like the muck, right?
The horror stories come from the love because usually it's two crews going against each other. So when you mess with one person, they gonna get their whole crew, and then that person gonna get their whole crew, and that's where the drama happens. But the crews happen because that love. I remember one time I got jumped. Like my family didn't care about fighting. Like if you just gotta fight, you just gotta fight. You know what I mean? Even if you're not a fighter, if you fight, you gotta fight. Yeah. I was not a fighter growing up, but I had to learn how to fight because niggas just try to fight me. It is what it is. But one time I got jumped, and I never forget, bro. I got jumped after school. My whole neighborhood pulled up to the school. I mean, niggas, everybody was coming out their house.
How deep?
You know what I mean? I mean, we had to be at least
like 50 niggas deep. You was about 50?
Probably more than 50. Probably about 60, 70 people deep. Niggas was rolling up in cars, coming from across town because
Monte Carlos?
fighting and jump Impalas.
Oh, Impalas, Detroit. You hear that?
Impalas and Marauders.
Oh my goodness. Straight up. That's straight up deep. That's straight up to deep. Straight up to deep. Impalas and Marauders all day.
Impalas and Marauders.
Pulled up deep.
Crown Vics.
What happened? Did they scare the people off or did they like?
I don't remember what happened because I was really young. I don't remember what happened. I just remember the whole hood was like, what? They just jumped you? Oh, hell no. And everybody, it was like a fucking riot. Like everybody walked up to the school. I can't remember what happened after that though.
It's all good.
I don't think it was no big drama.
As long as nobody get like severely harmed.
I don't think so.
That's typically the story in Detroit. So as long as everybody came out like with their limbs, we good. We good. That's really a story of love more so than it's a story about like pulling up and like trying to handle business.
Absolutely.
But like this is the beautiful part.
I still roll with them niggas, by the way. I still mess with every nigga that I grew up with, pretty much.
Are they all still like out?
No, a lot of them have. Yeah, you know what? It's so funny because my cousins that were the baddest, horrible ones, that was a little bit of a bad influence on me. Now they like preachers, deacons at the church. They got wives and houses. They got more, mature lives than me.
I think that's the crazy part. I've experienced that same thing. Like the people who be like the most Now they call it like what they call like demon time. You know, like what we consider demon time now, which is like real like catchy. The people who was on that mode back in the day end up becoming the most like
the preachers and the
religious, like saved people. Like you be like, damn, bro, like you got like 4 kids, you married, you committed. Be bugged out.
I swear to God, bro, that is the truth.
This is so. All right, so let's get back to your story, so you grew up, your family dynamic was different, and that did you understand when you were going through school that you were a little different? Did you that affect you in school, or did you just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna just whatever, I'm gonna just like not tell nobody, I don't give a damn, I'm gonna just do me?
Middle school, not really, because let me tell you, and I'm not even capping. I was always singing, so I was always popular because I was the guy who could sing from middle school on up, like literally. All the girls always wanted me because I was, the guy who could sing. And then by the time I got to high school, where I did start to become a little bit more, different, because I was always different, wearing different stuff, skinny jeans, people called me whatever growing up.
Right.
But by the time I did go to high school, it was a performing arts high school, I fit right in that environment because everybody was, sort of like me. So my school dynamics were always pretty good because I always had really good grades. I was a 4.0 student all the way up until I got to high school.
Give it up.
4.0, I always knew how to sing.
Girls
always liked me because I could sing. You know what I mean? I was always popular because I could sing. Niggas would hate a little bit. But, because of who my cousins and stuff was, niggas ain't really fuck with me like that.
Right.
So I had a pretty good experience as far as school is concerned, from middle school all the way up to high school, to college, honestly.
Well, tell us about the school you went to, high school.
Detroit School of Arts, just literally like Fame, but the black version, but better. Okay. So we had, we get a schedule, we got 8 classes, we maybe had 2 or 3 academic classes, and the rest were music classes.
Bro, how the hell that work?
I don't
math,
know.
Science,
now I can't tell you what a
huh?
circumference is, but I can tell you what a note is. You know what I mean?
Take your kids to performing arts school.
For real,
people.
no.
If you want them to get
amazing.
4.0s, apparently, just take them to performing arts.
Period.
Just do that.
Music is hard.
Make sure they got talent though too. So
yeah.
You had musical notes.
Oh yeah, we learned how to read music, classical, jazz, music. We had a Cheryl Valentine, who is another amazing. She's been teaching in DPS for over 35 years. And
what's DPS? A lot of people don't know that.
Oh, Detroit Public Schools, sorry.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, she's been a Detroit Public School teacher for over 35 years, and she was my music teacher, her and a host of others, as far as, my music mentors in Detroit. But, DSA was a playground to be a creative, you know what I'm saying? Because we had our music classes, but we also had our performances that we could do, that we could choreograph. We had the big stage. Our auditorium set like 2,000 people, so we had a really big state-of-the-art building. We had 12 recording studios in the school and TV studios and everything. It was all state-of-the-art equipment. So, DSA was a vibe, and I'm forever grateful. I truly do feel that that's the place that really molded me, because when you really learn how to read music and you really learn, how to build up your ear and learn about ear training and learn the piano and learn class and learn more than just what we're taught as far as R&B,
100%.
It takes your musicianship to another level. And we were performing a lot. We toured a lot. I was touring with my group of singers at school while we were in school. So we used to have to take 2 weeks to go and tour. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all wasn't doing real school anyway, so
right. We wasn't doing real school anyway, so we would leave. No, for real.
Y'all was getting paid in school. I don't know what type of operation this is, DSA, but we're gonna check into that.
Yeah,
we're definitely gonna check into that. Clearly,
it's an operation.
Something's wrong, right?
It's an operation.
Aaliyah, Tierra Marie, all these people. I don't know what's going on.
Shout out to Tierra Marie.
Yeah, something going on in the school. We're gonna check that
Delicious.
out. Cass Tech ain't allowing this type of stuff. It's not going down.
Shout out to Cass Tech too.
Right.
I love Cass Tech too.
Cass Tech is lit. It's definitely a dope school for sure. Shout out to all DPS schools.
Yeah, I used to steal their music. I used to go up to all the schools, Cass Tech, Renaissance, and I would sneak into their music libraries and steal their music.
I don't know what the rules are on snitching on yourself, but I can't call it. Shout out to that though. All right, so let's okay. So where we're at right now is like, hit high school, right?
Yeah.
Now, from high school, you did a transition and you went to New York.
I went to Chicago.
You went to Chicago first. All right.
I got accepted into a college, performing arts college. I went to performing arts high school and arts college.
Okay.
I've never experienced regular school. So I went to Columbia College, Chicago, and that's when my whole, that's when I really discovered, everything. And I, started doing music and getting back in the studio, and I dropped my first EP, which is, to my core Rob Moss fans, they know that EP, I Thought and Easy, Anticipation, those songs on there, that was the first thing where it was like, oh, whoa, this dude could really be an artist. Started getting put on blogs, and people around the campus started learning. So.
What tracks we talking about?
Easy. That was on that first. The name of the EP is actually called Easy.
It's a video on YouTube. That was, from what I saw, about 6 years ago, right?
Yeah, that was in 2000. The video came out in 2014, but the song came out in 2013.
Okay.
June 2013, because I remember I put that EP out, and it started buzzing around the campus, and so many people would ask me about it. Like, I would be on the bus, and people would come up to me like, bro, I heard your music, like, and they didn't even go to the same school. And I remember I just was like, bro, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this full time. And I literally dropped out of college and I moved to New York like 2 weeks later.
Bold move.
Apollo. Yeah, it was like, once I got that call to do the Apollo Theater, I don't know how that happened. I was like, forget it. I'm just like, bro, I'm just gonna do it.
Well, I mean, you don't know how it happened to this day?
I don't to this day. I don't know. I just know a woman named Kathy. I think her name is Kathy Jackson, and she might still work at the Apollo. I just got an email from her. But I used to perform a lot, all around Detroit, all around Chicago, doing plays, doing shows, doing wherever I could go. So I had, somebody could have told, there's no telling how they really found out about it.
I think that's a good anecdote for people to know. It's like, you're not going to know who's watching you. You just gotta do you, keep your head down, stick to the work that you are passionate about, and just grind. Just do that. And Rob is letting you know right now, just grind that shit out, right?
I mean, sure, yeah, I guess so.
What's beautiful about that is that you're finding yourself in the process in your voice, right? So you go to the Apollo, which is New York, and I think most people know about the Apollo. It's like make it or break it. Apollo is, if you're going to do amateur night there, you got to have some type of talent to at least believe in yourself to some degree. And if you don't, then stay your ass home. So you believed in yourself. You went there, and what happened?
Well, my shout out to, God rest his soul, my dad, Timothy Humphrey, who's an incredible mentor, father figure, and just everything. He was him and my god sister were the only two people that went with me to do the Apollo. And it was just an experience because I actually placed twice. I got third place. I performed 3 times, and 2 out of the 3 times I placed. And I remember initially, because I didn't know, I was only 18, 19, so I guess I didn't know how iconic it was to even be on the stage, let alone to place, let alone to place twice. You know what I mean? I didn't get that. I was actually mad that I didn't win.
Nobody told you about the Apollo?
Like, I knew about it, but I didn't know. Like, I knew because we grew up watching it, but it wasn't until I got older that I was realizing, like, oh, bro, every legend has touched this stage.
You touched the wood.
I touched the wood. I did all of that. But so I was actually mad that I got third place. I remember my dad had to take me out to eat, and I was like sad. I want to say I was probably crying. Like, I was mad that I got third place. You know what I mean? In the second place, I got it again, and I was really sad, and beating myself up. And then I remember this happened. Kathy, the woman who was the booking agent at the Apollo, she started booking me for stuff outside of the Apollo. So the Sugar Bar, which is a legendary bar in Harlem, New York, she invited me to sing in little shows in Harlem, and I was performing at a show in Harlem, and Reverend Al Sharpton was there. And during my performance, and all this is online, during my performance, the music went out, and I just started singing a cappella, and people started clapping or whatever, and Reverend Al Sharpton, he came on the stage, and he was like, listen, I heard Kathy's been telling me you've been performing at amateur night. This is what I want to say. You ain't no amateur no more. And after he said that to me, I
Let's
never
go.
went back. I never went back to amateur.
Let's go.
I never went back to amateur night at the Apollo and I don't know if Kathy just never invited me. I don't know, but she was just, I don't know. After he said that, I was like, you know what? I guess he's fucking right. You know what I mean? And I just that's when I started doing my mixtape. I started doing my mixtapes in my living room. I had a job in Tribeca, New York, and I lived in Queens. Anybody who knows New York knows that Queens and Tribeca are on the opposite. You know, I used to get up 6 a.m. every day, take an hour and a half train ride to Tribeca, get off work, and record until about 4 or 5 in the morning. And I did that every day for about 2 months. To get my first mixtape, Lover, Loner, Stoner, done.
Say that mixtape name one more time.
Lover, Loner, Stoner. The real Rob Moss fans know about that one.
No, that shit lit. That shit lit. I love the title. When I saw it, I was like, oh
that's
okay.
The one.
Yeah.
That's that pain.
It's the look. What I hear from you is commitment, right? That's what I hear is discipline. Like without even knowing, it's your passion. So you're not even giving the plan B an opportunity to even speak. It has no voice, right?
I don't really need to think about a plan B. Fuck a plan B, only plan A. Said that on my first project. I was like, it's either this, it's do or die.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's about. When I say believe in the B part, it's like nobody's gonna necessarily say that you're gonna make it. You have to believe in yourself first. And I think it's incredible because there's no blueprint that's in front of him within his immediate circle, right? The blueprints definitely exist outside of that, but he started putting himself in those atmospheres so that he could start getting some of that love. He would not have gotten Al Sharpton's love had he not put himself in that environment. He had to take that risk. And now he's in LA. That's another risk. That's a leap of faith. So the adage is like to take darkness and then let it build you into the light. It's going to be hard before you get to the light.
Horrible.
And I'm not necessarily saying Rob is in the light yet, but
I'm in the dark.
What I definitely seen in this Talk to Me video, which if it's okay with him, we'll play it. It's only if it's okay with him. But either way, we're going to have a link for it for sure. Yeah. Is his growth and his maturation, and you're going to hear like his style and who he is. And I definitely think it's a dope song, and I definitely think it's something that people are going to love. But it's all about taking everything with a grain of salt. And I think this man is showing you right now, in real time. It's happening right now, right? Right now.
Truly. Every
day, I guarantee you, this young man is going through some real shit.
Horrible.
And he's figuring it out along the way. And the crazy part is he's talented, right?
Yeah, which makes it even harder because the generation and the whole culture changed. You know what I mean? What I saw growing up, people on TV, talented people on TV, that's not what the dynamic, that's not the same era that I'm in.
Really?
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, expound. Please, tell some more.
I mean, it's just about, in the social media era, or, it's about so much more than your talent. Right. You don't even need talent no more. And I actually have respect, for those people who get their hustle on and, do what they have to do. But for the people that are actually talented, you have to work 30 times as hard because you have to get through the nonsense. You know what I mean?
Bullshit.
You got to get through, all of that. So, that's pretty much what it is.
So when you show up to people and you say, okay, I got this fire ass song, put me on, it's probably like, what's your numbers on Instagram type of thing.
Yeah, it's what's your numbers on Instagram, what's your numbers on Spotify, what's your, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, Instagram numbers won't necessarily affect the way people listen to music. You know what I mean? But as far as out here and certain business things and certain, things, all of those things come into play. Well, as opposed before, you could go to a label or go to anything as just yourself, and they'll do that work to make you a star.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you have to do a lot of groundwork on your own. You have to figure out your market on your own. You have to figure out where you fit in, figure out what works, what doesn't. You have to go through trial and error. You got to pause. You got to fail. You might put out 5 albums that flop until you get one song that, you know what I'm saying, does something, that's just what it is. Or you might put out something and it goes viral tomorrow. Everybody, things happen differently, but there are a lot of different things that matter now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. Like, I'm cool with that because it puts the artist in a unique position.
So would you say that are you independent or are you with the label?
I am the label.
You are the label?
I am the label. I actually register my own.
So what are all of the hats that you wear if you're independent?
Well, just this year, I really took the initiative to actually register my own label.
Okay.
And actually, register my own publishing and actually, that's what I did on quarantine. I was like, I'm gonna figure this out because we can't make show money. So I'm like, we gotta, figure this out. So now, singer, songwriter, dancer, choreographer, creative director, vocal arranger, vocal producer, PR person, you know what I mean? Because, you have to learn about PR and branding and marketing, you know what I'm saying? And a graphic designer, video editor. Like, oh my gosh. I've had to take on every.
Oh my goodness.
Because sometimes you need to put out a single and you might not have nobody to make the cover. You gotta go sometimes you might not have a budget. I only got $13 in my pocket. I can't pay somebody $100 to make me a cover. I gotta get on this laptop and learn how to do it myself. Okay. That's real.
No, that's. I mean, I'm just you spitting game. That's
real shit.
This is inspiration for anybody that's aspiring to be an artist.
Absolutely. If you can't pay for PR, if you can't pay to get on the blog, like I've gotten on a lot of really great, credible blogs because what I used to do before I actually had a PR company is I would just do my own PR. So if I put out a song, every single day for at least 45 minutes to an hour, I would just write emails and blast them to every R&B blog everywhere myself, and I would never get anything. For 2 years, I never heard nothing. And then finally, somebody put something on a blog for free, you know what I mean? And it ended up getting, you know what I mean? So it's like I had to be my own PR person. I did not go to school for that. The only thing I went to school to learn how to do is sing. But if I want to be successful, you know what I mean? And that's just my process, though. Some people have a different process where they might have a team, they might have different things. But for me, because nobody believed in me when I wanted to, really, really do music and drop out of college and do it, you know what I mean? Nobody outside of my hometown really understood it. So I had to take the initiative to say, okay, I'm going to believe in myself and I have to be all of these things for myself as of right now. As I've gotten older and did it more, it gets easier. I found a team. You find people. Like, I might not have to edit my own stuff now because I got people like you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who will shoot.
I hear them.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And edit and do stuff now.
People with skill sets in different fields that can lend their talents to help you get to where you're trying to get to.
Yeah, and I want to be a part of it, but it didn't start that way. It did not. It wasn't like that at first. It was like, if I want something done, I literally got to do it on my own.
So if you look at the top of the mountain, right, the top of the pinnacle where you're trying to get to, and let's take you back to like 2013. Mm-hmm. If you look at the top from where you're trying to get to, and if somebody told you that you're going to go through XYZ, that you really legit went through it, would you do it? Would you go through it to be right where you are right now? Or would you say, nah, I'm going to go get a job at the,
I would definitely do it. 9 to 5. I would definitely do it because I believe all this shit going to pay off. I believe everything that I've learned, all of the knowledge, all of the rejection, all of the heartbreak, all of the lonely nights, all of the homeless nights, all of the hungry days, going days without eating because you didn't put all your money into the studio. I've really been there, bro. I've been there. I've been at that point where I've sacrificed my whole life. I'm sleeping in the kitchen, sleeping in a laundry room, sleeping in a whatever because I paid to record an EP before getting a place to live. Like that, that really is the truth, working 4 jobs just to be able to, pay for the stuff. That's the shit that I feel I had to go through, but I feel like I might not understand it now, but in the future, you know what I'm saying, when I have reached my goals and I have reached, you know what I'm saying, that place that I can see myself at, I feel like, I'll appreciate all of those things, you know what I mean? So I probably wouldn't change it, No,
that's a beautiful answer. I think what what really touches me is that not only would you not change it, but now you're at this point, they say hindsight is 20/20, so you know what you've been through, and you're saying nah, because now I'm on this other side of the pain, and why would I go back? Yeah, I went through that, but keep hitting the gas pedal. Let's go forward. Let's see where we're gonna take this machine. You put a machine together.
Absolutely, and it's necessary, bro.
Yeah, you put a machine together, and it's only gonna continue to get better the more you feel this journey, this dream. Really, it's what you're doing. Is you're feeling a dream.
And the more of your journey you have, the more you have to share. That's the thing about being a music artist, is that the more struggle or the more of a story you have, that's just another way that you're going to be able to relate to somebody. Like, I can, sing with that feeling because I've been homeless, you know what I mean? And I can sing. I know what it's like to sing for your life. When I lived in New York, I didn't have a job. I used to have to get on that train and sing for 6 hours a day with a hat.
You was busking. That's what they call it. It was for money, right?
Absolutely. And in New York, if you can't sing, them people ain't gonna give you no money. They ain't gonna give it to you.
What would you say was the lowest amount that you had on a day, and the highest?
The most I made was probably like 160, 170. Lowest was probably 20.
What's the first thing you bought with the 160?
I was just trying to survive. I think I was just trying to pay my phone bill or something. I was in New York. I was, I think I was just trying. I ain't had no extra nothing in New York. So I never had extra money.
Would you say that so somebody else is probably going through the exact same journey you're going, you've been through, right? The exact same thing is probably happening to somebody right now. They might stumble on this, right? Is there anything you want to say to that person?
Stick it out. Stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. You don't know where it's going to go. You don't know where it's going to lead you. And when it gets tough, that's when you have to work the hardest. When it gets tough, work, because like Jay-Z said, what did he say? He said, when he talks about had A1 credit, got more back. If I'm not a hustler, what you call that is when he talks about losing like a whole zip and then having to, work it back up, it's just like that. Like when you lose and you really take those big L's, because I've taken some big L's, and there's some stuff that I can't even talk about because of contracts with certain TV shows and stuff. But I've taken some things that really made me want to give up, like made me think like, okay, maybe this is not for you. This is not going to work. This is you did all this work and it's not ever going to work. I really have had that a lot, but every time somebody lets me know that I'm inspired, I started doing music because of you, or bro, me watching you not give up is the reason why I won't give up, or the fact that I know that people in my hood specifically actually love my music. That's what gives me the most motivation out of all, is the fact that people from my hood in Detroit and certain areas and skirt actually really, really love for my music, listen to it, love it every day. They're inspired by my music, my videos, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But it definitely gets hard. But I would tell anybody, stay the course and always take opportunities to learn. Like, I think as artists, we think we're very, we think we know it all sometime, and I feel like you can learn more listening than you ever can talking. So that would be the advice I would give. Stay the course.
Let's just talk about real quick the negative comments, the trolls or whatever. How do you handle that?
I love it. I mean, I love it now because you could just delete their comments now.
No, initially, did you how did it affect you initially, and then how did you handle it initially, and then how I get that you handle it well now, but what was it like at first?
Well, you know how they say if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
Yeah.
So for a long time, I told you I ain't really, I ain't had a lot of haters, you know what I mean? So once I did start getting videos and, stuff that people would post comments and calling me this, calling me that, talk about this, talk about that. And I delete the comments. I used to just delete them so you couldn't see them. But now they still out there. You can't really, but I used to just delete them because I used to be too sensitive for that. But I used to be very sensitive about that type of stuff because I put my heart and soul into actually writing my songs.
Right.
So when you hear a song by me, it actually came from the inside of me like a baby. Like this is something that I had a dream about and put it on a piece of paper.
And niggas just
put it
came
on
out of
a
nowhere
record,
shitting on yourself.
and now it's out. Well, when you put music out, you put it out there for people to do that.
Right.
You know, so at first I was a little sensitive, but then when I started seeing the haters, I started thinking like, wait, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So if you got some haters now, that means you starting. Literally, I was happy when I first started seeing stuff like that because I was like, hey, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. Right. I always believed in that.
Right. No, it's true. It means that you're not actually doing shit. You're not.
Yeah.
Because the haters ain't doing shit. 9 times out of 10, they ain't doing shit because they ain't got no time.
Yeah. And it's a wake-up call that everybody ain't gonna like your shit. I think it's important as an artist to know that, hey, you might not be everybody's cup of tea, but if you can be confident in what you're doing, it's not going to affect you.
Wow.
Because you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Everybody not going to like it. Some people going to think your shit is whack. I done had so many people tell me, it's just, industry people, industry, labels, A&Rs, in studios with people who have written for Beyonce, Rihanna, and they just straight up say like, no, you have to do this.
Damn.
You know what I mean? But all of that stuff empowered me. All of that stuff, it was very hard to deal with in the moment, but it really empowered me. It really made me better. And that's why every time I put out a project, it's better. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's you're taking it with a grain of salt, and you're still pushing forward to do a little bit better. You got to kind of like show them up, like, all right, I see you. I'm gonna double down. F your couch. You know what I'm saying? I got you. That's important. Yeah. Yeah, like you sound like you got a very tough skin. Like you built like a second skin or something, a coat of armor, and it's just like impenetrable. So
I ain't gonna say impenetrable, but
no matter what, you've already said that you're going full steam ahead. Period. Right? That's impenetrable. There's nothing like stopping your wave. You are a wave all by yourself, and you got a team now. So that's what I mean by impenetrable. Like no matter what, you're on your way.
Appreciate that, bro.
So with the adage, like petty is like, we know what petty means, all right? Small, senseless. But for this show's purpose is practice every day to take yours, all right? And what he's trying to illustrate,
or to take yours.
And what's yours. Yeah, we're working on that. It's all good. But what Rob is trying to say is like, every day he's doing something for his dream, right? Every day?
Every day. Every single day. Every single day. But I'm also learning to be happy. I'm also learning to, accept where I am, accept where I'm going, and to be happy, because for a long time I was just working, and I was depressed. I was sad. I wasn't happy. You know what I mean? And I feel like being on this journey with music to doing something that makes people feel good, or if you're not feeling good, that's the great thing about music. You can make some depressed shit and you can take people on that journey if you want to as well.
That's true.
You can, but I think you have to enjoy this, you know what I mean? And there was a lot of it that I just didn't enjoy because I was just thinking about the next thing, or just thinking about where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. So now I make sure, you know what I'm saying, I have fun. Even with the Talk to Me record, like that record makes you feel good. It's a fun, feel-good record. It makes me feel good, you know what I mean?
Facts.
And it was important for me to put that out in the middle of a pandemic, because I'm like, I know everybody is probably expecting, for me to put out a record that is reflective of what's happening right now.
Right.
But I was like, no, I purposely want to put out something that's just going to make people forget about whatever it is for 4 minutes and just dance and just have fun. You know what I mean? And, so that's a reflection of where I am with life now, of just, yes, I'm aware of everything that's happening, and I'm aware of all of the darkness of the world, and I'm aware of, all of everything. But I'm making a personal choice to still enjoy this life, because we only get one. We only get one time to do this. So it's like, I don't want to be too, just say I just worked and didn't have fun. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at now.
So Talk to Me is a dope record. Congratulations on that. Seems like it's doing well. Seems like it's going to do even better once you get more ears on it.
Absolutely.
Tell people real quick about your next plan. Like, what's the next drop and what you plan to do with your whole career and where you want to go.
Yeah. Well, first off, about Talk to Me, I gotta give a shout out to Beat Guy Stacy, who produced that record.
Shout out.
He produces pretty much.
There you go. In a minute.
Stacey P deserved him 3 because that dude is amazingly talented. He's a producer from Virginia. I've been working with him since I moved out here in 2016, but I've known him since 2014, but he was in the Army and we couldn't make music together for 2 years. So now, we just, we're building up a sound. So shout out to B Guy Stacy. He's just a huge part of everything I am as far as, the production of the music. But the Talk to Me single is out now. I have a project, that I have had done for a while. Working on just putting the final mixes of it. So hopefully that'll be out in November. But I'm such a perfectionist that I don't know. But we got the project done and I'm just, working on a bunch of stuff. I have a merch collection, coming for my project and for Talk to Me and just expanding, the business. As far as the future, my goal is to not only, be a successful artist, and to be able to travel and tour internationally. Mm-hmm. But I also want to be a label owner. The music business is a passion of mine, so that I can give opportunities to people, the talented people I know growing up in Detroit. So somewhere down the line, just a successful music career, a successful career as a label owner, as a music entrepreneur, as well. Those are my goals right now. I might get into fashion, acting. I did go to school for acting and all different types of stuff that I might get into later.
Definitely saw that in some of your previous music videos.
Yeah. I got a couple credits too, but I don't really like to talk about them because...
Well, you should talk about them, man. You should always talk about them.
Yeah, I don't want people to I like for people to know about the music and, it's always fun when people see me in something, like they'll see me in a movie or see me in something in a small part and they'll be like, is that you? I did not know that you was
let these people know.
Yeah,
let these people know.
Yeah, well, and also the thing is, when you're doing film, you never know what's actually gonna make it, and you never know what's actually gonna get cut.
But after you know. So let these people know.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I got y'all.
Let me ask you to do this for the people, right? Give them one step or one tool that they can use or do right where they're at right now to try to improve their situation.
Take advantage of the internet. Take advantage of the internet. Okay, if you have no budget, if you got no team, if you got nothing, you can get on the internet and pretty much do anything. You can download a free recording software if you want to. Start making songs. You can, build yourself. But I would say, take advantage of the internet. Take advantage of the internet.
That's beautiful.
You can learn it all. Digital marketing, the internet is it's an open.
What is we talking about right now? Take advantage.
It's an open canvas. That's what I have to do. I can take advantage of the internet more. You know what I mean? But it's like, if you got that phone. Even if you just got to put on the beat and just take that phone and just rap over it and post it until you get some fan. You know what I mean? Real talent, you can do anything. You know what I mean? Even if you don't have the resources. So, period. Believe in yourself.
I don't even know what we're doing right now. I feel like he's hosting the show, babe. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. At the end of the day, everything he just said is 100%. I second that. I co-sign. I think that's what we can do. Is that okay? We can co-sign. I really, really, really want everybody to check out Rob's last music video. Also directed by Jeff Ross, who's a very talented guy. We'll probably have him up on the show.
Jeff Ross. Can you drop a bomb for Jeff Ross?
I don't know which one is the... See, it's just, we got too much going on. All right, whatever. More of the story
Shout out to Jeff Ross, man.
Shout out to Jeff. Because he's a very talented guy, and he's over here doing a lot of projects at once. And I think what he did with Rob's video was pretty dope. And at the end of the day, Rob's going to continue to flood us with content, right?
Oh, bruh. What? Going crazy.
Going
long
crazy.
As long as I got somebody to shoot it.
I don't even know what that means.
I got somebody
Straight
to shoot
facts.
it, we got content.
But I appreciate you for stopping through.
Bro, thank you for having me.
This
man.
is all like
thank you, truly.
A major step, because the platform is all about helping people see their dreams at the end of the day. I want you all to take a little bit from this. It's like an hour and some change segment. But we want you to get something from this. We want you to grow from
Petty,
it.
Man. Shout out to B Petty.
Man,
I don't know if y'all noticed, but we both from Detroit. I don't know if you said that. Did you say that?
Look, ladies and gentlemen, because when he said the thing about the suburbs, and technically, like I'm a hybrid. I call myself a Michigan mutt. I lived all over the state. I've definitely lived in Detroit.
Okay.
But I think there's like a distinguishable amount of time that people have to say that you lived in the D for you to go ahead and claim it.
No,
and therefore,
bro.
I don't know, but
you lived in Detroit.
I rep Michigan as a whole. I've been in Grand Rapids, Lansing, Detroit, Ann Arbor.
Don't say that. Edit this out. Don't say that. Detroit. He from Detroit. We claiming him. I was talking about white people.
Wow. Look, my number is 248. His is 313.
No, mine was 248 up until very recently. I was 248 for a while.
Really?
248 and 734.
Oh my God.
For a while.
734?
I just got back.
What was that, Mount Clemens? Oh my God. You can't be claiming those 734. You like Huron, motherfucking Mount Clemens. There's no respect for 734. I'm gonna tell you right now.
You in Livonia?
Everybody from Michigan, no, there's no respect for 734. I don't give a damn who he is.
I just got back to 313.
Oh my God.
I just got back to 313.
And you get so much respect for 313. I don't know what it is, but 313 is like, you get all the respect.
I never changed my 313.
248 don't get hate like that. It's kind of like everybody understands.
Niggas don't know what 248 is, bro.
Niggas know what 248 is.
Outside of Michigan, nobody knows what 248 is.
Big Sean know what the hell 248 is. Niggas know what 248 is. Now you gotta look. I'm over here cursing such and such. Is that even right? That's not what I'm trying to do.
We don't cuss on here?
I don't know.
I've been cussing this whole time.
It's okay. It's okay.
I've been cussing like a sailor.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
You don't cuss on this podcast?
Bro, we just started. I guess I'm gonna have to figure that shit out.
Yeah, but you cuss on podcasts. Joe Budden cuss on his podcast. Well, he used to.
I don't know. Trying to motivate, trying to inspire. That's really all we're trying to do. And at the end,
well,
I hate saying at the end of the day. At the start of the day, do your best to put your best foot forward every single day, and just focus on your passion. He's passionate about that. If he wasn't passionate about music, there's no way he would continue to take these giant leaps and these steps forward.
Hell no.
There's no way. So do what you love. He was fortunate enough to have that message early in his life. A lot of people get that later, so they got to figure it out. Okay, and but even in his process, in this journey, he's not reluctant to say, no matter what comes my way, I'm gonna fight it, and I'm gonna fight for my dream. So that's all we're asking you to do, is like take the darkness to fight your way into the light. That's it. That's the whole adage.
And don't let a person, don't let nobody stop you. I don't care if you play your music or if you show your script or you show your film or whatever you do. You show it to somebody, and I don't care if 50 people tell you it's terrible. If you love it, do it. If you love it, do it. I cannot tell you how many people tried to take me off of my path just because my art wasn't what they wanted it to be. And if I would have listened to those people, I don't even know where I would be in life. You know what I mean? Because if I would have listened to every person who said, "Nah, bro, you should do this. No, you should be an actor, bro. Music, that's not your thing." A lot of people told me that because I was in school for acting. But I knew that music was my passion. You know what I mean? So no matter what they say, just do what the fuck you got to do. You know what you got to do. Do it on your own time. Don't compare yourself to nobody. Don't compare yourself. Understand you are who you are. Accept it. Be happy. And anything you don't like, you can change it. Do the work to change it, even if it's small incremental changes or a big leap of faith. But if it's a situation that you're not happy in or you feel could be better, change it. That's a power that we have as human beings. We have the power to make choices. So that's it.
I know you got new heat coming soon.
You heard
and
it.
Everybody, please go follow him. Where?
Rob Moss _Rob Moss, ROBMOSS on everything. Also got the website robmossmusic.com if you really want that work. All the music is available to download for free. Merch, everything. So
and he on Spotify and all that good stuff.
yeah, all that.
So spread the love, let people know. Listen to the song, man. Talk to Me is lit. You know, it make you feel good. You might be able to clean up the crib. Talk to me. You might be able to get it popping. Talk to me. You know, just it's dope. You know, so
You'll hear it.
You'll hear it, right? Check it out. Spread the love, and you know, continue to do what you got to do for your dream and your passion. All right.
All my bills paid, bank account laid. So much sin all around me, man, I'm tryna stay out of the temptation, not going their route. Cut at the check and I go. Love is what I'm looking for, not a phone, no, I'm young, but I need that good, I need that good, I need that good love. Ooh, now listen, I need that good head, I need that good box, I need that ass drop to me. And I've been thinking about you all day, girl, you know that you're a star. Everywhere you go, they know exactly who you are. Let's go. Run up a check, buy up the bar, just to get next to where you are. Niggas ain't got no limits on cards. Niggas ain't regulars, niggas are stars. I've been on creep, I've been on peep, dreaming about you all in my sleep. Ooh, oh, you know. All my bills paid, bank account laid. So much sin all around me, man, I'm tryna stay out of the temptation, not going their route. Cut at the check and I go. Love